Okay, I can see it saying we're recording. So, hello and welcome, Erin, to this second edition of More Than a Carer project. It's nice to
Hi.
have you here. I'm delighted actually that you found the time to talk to us because actually you're what I would call a very busy bee. I know that you've got responsibilities in helping look after your mum, and you also though managed to do so many other things like taekwondo, orchestra, rugby, and you're really into theatre. So I don't know if we'll have a chance to talk about all of that, but let's start first with the one that intrigues me, I guess, perhaps the most, and that's the rugby. Tell me about how your passion for rugby came about and what do you do?
Basically, I hadn't started rugby until I was in my first year of high school. Um, but really what happened was we got out letters with all the lists of the clubs. And I don't know why, but rugby kind of catched my eye. And I wanted to do it, but my dad reminded me and he was like, you can't be too much of a snowflake or like too fragile because obviously it's quite a full on contact sport. Um but yeah, the I think as I started playing it more, I've grown to love it uh as we've went on through the year.
Mm-hmm. And do you watch a lot of rugby yourself? I mean, is it something in your family that you've always done, or because the UK is often more football-y, so it's yeah. What?
Yeah, I think I think it was the Commonwealth Games were in Glasgow, and there was 7 nations, I think that's what it was. And so me and my dad went to go watch, I think it was like 2 of the games that were on. Um, and I enjoyed it then, but I think now, like I've went with the school and stuff, and we've watched like bigger games like Scotland v England and stuff like that. Um, and that was also like I think I've grown to love watching it more as well than just playing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to watch it growing up because I'm from New Zealand originally, and it's like the national religion there, rugby.
Yeah.
It's like, as you may know, the All Blacks.
One of the girls from a girl from New Zealand actually moved here and joined our school, and now she's playing in the rugby team as well.
Uh-huh, okay.
So yeah.
And so, in the rugby, do you play games? Is it just training? How does it work? Do you play against each other?
We play like school v school games, but like in training we'll do like our own team versus our own team, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we do play against other schools like proper games, and there's like championships and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's a Glasgow Warriors one, and we qualified to get into the semi-final. It was either the semi-finals or the finals. But we haven't been able to play the rest of the games.
Oh, so that's still happening. That's still going to come. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
And what is it about rugby that you like? Is it sort of the tactical nature of it, of getting the ball at the field? Do you like the running? What do you like?
I think I like being able to have that kind of like a sport where you can play contact, but it's not too aggressive, if you know what I mean. So it's not like boxing or something, but it does also have it is quite a technical sport, but it also does have that kind of more aggressive side of it, and I like the kind of mix, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do the girls play exactly the same rules as the boys?
No.
Oh, okay.
Basically the girls, we don't get to do scrums or lineouts where the boys do. And they get like specific places where we will have like training, and in training we'll have places sometimes, but on the pitch mostly it's just us in a big line running towards the other big line. It's they, they don't have an explanation for it apart from the fact that we're girls, but you know.
Uh-huh, yes. That seems to be a poor excuse for lots of things in the world, if you ask me.
Yes.
And so is that because of your age though? But like say the women's rugby teams, do they play the normal?
Yeah, the women's rugby teams, they play like full contact and they have positions and stuff. But even though the boys our age get to play the same way that like the adults would, the girls don't get to play the same way as the women do.
Mm. Would you
But
would you would you like that to change? Would you like it to be a bit more even?
I think it should be because I'd love to be able to like being able to know how to form a scrum or whatever and like do lineouts and stuff. And also like one of my career choices right now is like I kind of want to be a women's rugby player, but it's the fact that um if I get onto like a team that's outside of the school, half the girls might actually know how to do a scrum, and I don't because I was in a school team that didn't let me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, it's
Yes.
it's all kind of weird, but
Ah. So maybe if it was, like it became a kind of quite a clear career path, or even just to explore it some more, you could join an outside rugby club or something.
yeah, there wasn't one before. Like there was a women's White Craig team, but there wasn't a girls. But they started up a girls team, and then this happened, like COVID happened, so I wasn't really able to like join it. But um, when we get back, I'm hopefully going to have a look at it and see like timing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because like the manager, who's a woman, she has she was the one that came round to all of us and was like, we've started a team, you can join if you want, I'll give you more details. But she didn't get the chance to give us the more details.
So there's hope yet that you'll be scrumming before the year is out, maybe.
Yes, hopefully.
And what does your dad think of you? He likes you playing rugby? He can see that
I,
you're not
I
a
think he
snowflake?
quite I think he quite enjoys the fact that I play it because I guess I'm not really like a girly girl. I guess I'm kind of in the middle, like I'll wear makeup and stuff, but I won't wear like a full pink outfit. I don't, you know what I mean? Though, like, um, and I guess I think he kind of enjoys the fact that, or like likes the fact that I am trying different things and that I'm not just sticking to dancing and that, because that's how I grew up. I was just doing dancing and stuff. But
Yeah, so dancing was kind of your first love, was it? Is there some?
yeah, I started that I think when I was like 3 or something.
Uh-huh.
And I done like just dance classes until I was maybe 9, 8, around that time. And then I stopped doing just dance classes and joined advanced in my theatre school. So I was in mainstream, so like just 3 hours of, so it was dance, singing, and acting, and I just done that while doing just dance classes as well, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Um, for while I was in dance, and then I wanted to move to advanced and do more acting. So I stopped dance classes and I just have my hour of dance when I'm doing theatre school.
Mhm. So how old were you when you joined the UK theatre school, did you say?
Um, I think I was 6 maybe.
Okay, wow. Mhm.
Yeah, 6 or 7,
Mhm.
around that kind of age.
Okay, and that was totally just focus on dance, and then the more you were at the school, you thought, okay, let's get into some acting, and so you do
Yeah,
you do more acting now at the UK. You're still at the UK theatre school, aren't you? It's a
yeah.
weekly thing, is it, or something?
Yeah, it's, I think, I don't know when we're starting back, but it's normally every single Sunday, like 6 hours, um, and then half an hour for lunch in the middle.
And so, what is it about theatre school that what do you love about that? Are you specifically interested in acting? Do you like directing, or what's your
I think I enjoy like a lot of aspects of it. Like I love doing improv, because you get to kind of just play around with it, and I think also it's a good way to be listening to like your peers on stage, because some people will just, the way you practice it is the way you do it on stage, but really if someone says a line differently and you reply like something that doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? So I think it's good, and it helps you listen to what the other person on stage is saying.
Mm-hmm.
I also do enjoy script, but I don't know why, but I find it harder to remember. Like once I've done it, so when I'm doing it for like a show for like theatre school, um, I'll probably be like the last one to remember all of my lines. But once I've remembered my lines, I've got everything else sorted out. Like I've got my character sorted out, and that, I think that's just the way my brain works. Because I just, it's like in school, and I'm a bit slower than everyone else, but I get nearly everything correct, and I like do it well. So
Mm-hmm.
it kind of depends.
You're a bit like, it's like that. I don't know if you know the story of the hare and the tortoise. It's like the slow and steady wins the race sort of
Yes.
thing with you. That's the way you process. You kind of like to absorb everything and get all bits of the jigsaw in place, and then it
Yeah.
holds together. Yeah. And the thing about the improv is interesting because it's sort of like you're attracted to the sort of spontaneity or the creativity in the moment. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think one of the hardest things is like when you're doing improv, it's you're not really supposed to say no to the other person or block out their ideas, because then it kind of like slows down the story and stops it more. So I think that also gives it more like creativeness, and more, it gives you more opportunity, if you know
Mm.
what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's sort of quite playful, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fascinating. So you said rugby, being a women's rugby player is a career path. Is there something in theatre, dance that feels like a career path or not?
Um I I don't. I think I always done dance for like fun, but when I went on to acting, I enjoyed it way more, and I wanted to be an actress. I still kind of do. That's like another career path, but I think right now my main one is I want to be a rugby player.
Mhm.
But it's like when I'd started doing more acting, I was absolutely in love with it. I wanted to be an actress, full stop. And I guess that's kind of in the moment, that's what you think that's just going to be what you want to be for the rest of your life, but now it's changed.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the first time you get that kind of urge that you want to be something, you're a bit like, this is what I want to be for the rest of my life. But I think now I've kind of realised it will change around, and
Mhm.
I will find something that I want to do.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work out, I do have other options.
Yeah, it's a great idea to try lots of different things as you do, to keep yourself interested and engaged and stimulated. And then you've got lots of knowledge and experience that can help you make a decision. And as you say, something you might be a women's rugby player for a while and then go on to something else.
Yeah.
I'm interested that there's something about, I'm wondering if some sort of strange connection between improv and playing rugby. Like if you're playing it properly, like there's got to be
Yeah.
some, like there's a kind of a quick decision making improv. I don't know. Is it?
I think this is all, it's almost like in improv you have to be listening to what the other person's saying, and kind of also being like, how could I respond to that? And in rugby, it's, this person's ready to pass to me. Do I need to pass, or do I need to like run forward? It's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it's all, yes, it's like, I've completely forgotten the word. But it's where you are doing two things at the same time.
Doing two things at the same time. Oh, I don't know what the word is either.
I can't
Right?
remember the word. But
Is it parallel kind of
I'd
thinking? I don't know. Oh,
but like
multitasking. Is it
multitasking, that's it. um I think both of them, you like, your mind is multitasking as well as you actually having to either be acting out or like your actions as well, but your mind is also going, how do I respond to that? How are they showing, what emotion are they showing, or how do I choose, do I pass next or do I run forward?
Mm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's all kind of...
Yes, again, you're kind of not, you're listening to the other player somehow. It's not like listening literally, but you're sensing and figuring and yeah. Okay, so that, yeah, I can see how those two might, those two interests might complement each other. And I know that you also play in the orchestra, you play the violin, and you do a bit of singing.
Yes.
So that's kind of keep you busy. However, because we're running out of time, I was wondering about Taekwondo. You've been doing that for a really long time too. So what triggered your interest in that?
I think I can remember the time when my dad introduced me. It started off as like little tiger cubs, because that's just what the younger bit of it is called. And I was like, this looks amazing, I want to do it, you know what I mean? So I went and I fell in love with it. And then I moved up to like white belt for Taekwondo. And I think I got to like, it was blue belt, and then I quit for a year because I guess I kind of got bored of it, but I missed it, so I've went back and now I'm on red belt, so that's blue belt, blue tag. So I've passed 2 tests since last summer.
Okay.
So and now I'm 2 tests away from black belt.
Wow. God, that's impressive.
Yes.
And what is it that when you saw it and you fell in love with it, what was it? Was it kind of the discipline, or I don't know,
I think when I was younger, it was the fun side of it. It was like being able to learn how to do like the kicks and the punches and stuff like that. But when I like got older, I think I don't know what it is, but that kind of, it keeps coming back to this, but that being able to have that kind of safe, but it's kind of aggressive, because like the sparring and stuff, I think it's 2 bronze and 1 silver that I've won for it in competitions. So that, I think just having that kind of aggressiveness, but it not being like I'm gonna get properly hurt kind of aggressiveness, you know. But then there's like the patterns where my dad has always told me it's like a dance, because you just have to remember the steps. So it kind of is. It's like a dance without music. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it sounds like I've never tried it, but it's something like it's controlled, precise, and strength. It's kind of controlled strength, isn't it? Something like that.
It's basically like when you're doing like practicing sparring, you're unless we're doing practicing for a competition, we don't actually hit each other, so we're literally like the punch is like there, and we have to like stop, which I think is quite fun as well, because you have to like control yourself. There's the 5 tenets: perseverance, self-control, abdominable spirit, courtesy, and integrity.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a really interesting, those are interesting principles to kind of be learning from a young age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does it. I guess it kind of helps you in life as well as like when you're in Taekwondo. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and so I can totally see the appeal, and it would be a really good sort of training, I guess, as you say, helps you in life as well. So listen, we've got about 4 minutes left, and I'm just curious: is it at the moment as you start this new school year? Are there other things in the world that you think I'd like to try that, or do you think you're your dance card, as it were, or your engagement calendar is full?
I've always like enjoyed baking and like cooking and stuff, and I want to try and do some more of that. Especially like doing home ec in S1 has just made me fall in love with it all over again. So I made dinner last week. But I want to do more of that and be able to like cook proper meals and stuff. So I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to being like trying to do. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think I'm quite happy with what I am doing right now, and I'll just see what happens.
So yeah, so there's something about going, okay, I want to just learn how to, what the thing about the cooking, is it kind of creating, again, there's something in the creating, or is it that?
I think so. I think it is just like being able to create something and see how people like it, and people being able to enjoy what I've made or what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. So when you said you like baking, does that mean you like kind of cakes, or is it more meals that you're interested in, or both?
I've always done like a bit of baking every now and then. And I think the first time I made like it was a little meal thing with my friend, and it was for a competition at our after school carer thing. And it was like a cooking competition. And we just get given random ingredients and we have to make something out of it. And we got given noodles, pepper, ham, soy sauce, and something else. It might have been chili, like sweet chili sauce. So we literally just put the noodles in the microwave and added the chili and added the soy sauce and just cut up all the rest of the stuff and put it in. But people really liked it, and that was my first thing. I was like, maybe I'd be good at this. But I really enjoyed that. And I think that's what made me start to like cooking meals even more than cooking than baking. But like I love the life. I decorated a cake for science and it looked quite good, but I obviously had higher expectations than what it turned out to be. You always do. But it was my first time, so I'll forgive myself. But
I'm pleased to hear it, yes. Because I think you deserve a huge pat on the back for all the different things that you try. And I think that attitude is, it doesn't work out, I forgive myself first time, and I can learn from it.
Yeah.
So.
But I quite enjoy decorating cakes as well, even though I might not be the best at it. So like I enjoy art as well. Like I painted stuff for my friends and that as well for during lockdown. So that's been keeping me busy.
Wow, so you're an artist as well. See, there's so much to Erin that, we could spend at least an hour, I'm sure, if not longer.
Yeah.
But listen, we have to finish here. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your life. I'm really fascinated by all the different things that you do, and actually how there's sort of little threads in between them. Because even with your cake, the dinner competition, there was improv in that.
Yeah.
It was using what you had. So it sounds like you've got a good attitude and trying stuff, seeing how it turns out, and being unfazed by failure, I guess.
Yes.
Well, listen, and I guess you've got maybe a mission in the rugby world to sort of change the way girls get to train.
Yes.
No pressure. Just like if you wanted any help in that area, I'm all for equality myself. Well, it's been lovely talking to you, Erin. Thank you so much for your time. What are you off to do now for the rest of the day?
Probably go see some of my friends.
Okay. Well, I'm pleased to hear that you've got time to socialise as well as everything else.
Yes.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.